Number 1. Who coined the phrase information retrieval? Options are Kelvin Moores, S.R. Ranganathan, J.D. Brown, and H.P. Lan. And answer is A. Kelvin Moore. In colon classification, which indicator has been used for indicating interpolation? Options are comma, hyphen, asterisk, and ampersand. And answer is C. Asterisk. Which is denudation? A is dividing classes to decrease the extension. B is dividing classes to increase the extension. C is dividing classes to increase intension and decrease extension. And D is dividing classes to decrease intention. And the answer is C, is dividing classes to increase intention and decrease extension. The international body that coordinates the assignment of a unique domain names protocol address is option A, IGF, B, IANA, C, ICANN, and D, ISP, and the answer is D, ISP. Number 5. Name the Indian librarian who was honored with the title of Khan Bahadur in 1935 by the British government. And the answer options are S.R. Ranganathan, B. B.S. Kesavan, C. K.M. Asdullah, and D. D.R. Kalia. And the answer is C. K.M. Asdullah. Number 6. Which approach of information is not given by RSIG and enabling? Options are A. Structural approach, B. Knowledge approach, C. Meaning approach, and D. Technique approach. And the answer is D. Technique approach. Number 7. Assertion. A. Digitization has proved to be possible for every format and medium held by library. And the reason, all libraries are making their text and visual collections digitized. Codes are A is true but R is false, and B, A is false but R is true, and C, both A and R are true and both A and R are false. And the answer is C, both A and R are true. Assertion. A. In spite of political, economic, technological support, the growth of public library system is lopsided, and the reasons are the public libraries are totally depending on cess and text amounts. Codes are both A and R are true, both A and R are false, A is true but R is false, D, A is false but R is true. And the answer is C, A is true but R is false. Number 9. Assertion. A. Pay and use concept has not been accepted in libraries of India. And reasons. Library staff does not possess the essential skills required for product development and promotion. Codes are both A and R are true, B, A is true but R are false, C, R is true but A is false, and both A and R are false, and the answer is A, both A and R are true. Number 10. Assertion. Library science profession in India enjoys the status at par with medical, legal, and management professions. And the reasons. S.R. Ranganathan's contributions and teachings for Indian librarianship substitute status to the profession. And the codes are A is true but R is false, A is false but R is true, both A and R are true, and both A and R are false, and the correct answer is B, A is false but R is true. Number 11. Assertion. In conducting research, social sciences are not considered at par with the natural sciences. Reason. Research in social sciences can't be performed so rigorously as can be in natural sciences. Codes both A and R are true, both A and R are false. C. A is true but R is false, and D. A is false but R is true, and the correct answer is A. Both A and R are true. Number 12. Assertion. Research starts in mind first and then in laboratories, and the reason: systematically conducted research leads to generalization. Codes: A is true but R is false. B. A is false but R is true. C. Both A and R are true, and the D. Both A and R are false, and the correct answer is C. Both A and R are true. Number 13. Assertion. Systematic and efficient use of statistical tools in research helps in precise interpretations of research results, and the reason: statistical tools cannot give specific explanations of the data. Codes: both A and R are true, both B. A is true but R is false, both A and R are false. D. A is false and R is true, and the correct answer is both A and R are true. Number 14. Arrange the following publications according to their year of origin. Options are Social Science Citation Index, LISA, Library Literature and Information Science, Library Journal. And correct arrangements are number C, Library Journal, then Library Literature and Information Science, LISA, and number 1, Social Science Citation Index. Arrange the following according to their year of origin. Broad system of ordering, classification in online systems, automated keyword classification, classification research group, and correct sequence is A. First, classification research group, then automated keyword classification, then broad system of ordering, and last, classification in online system. Arrange the following according to their year of origin. Bradford's Law, Lutka's Law, Statistical Bibliography, and Chip's Law. And the correct sequence is D. Number 3, Statistical Bibliography, then 2, Lutka's Law, then 4, Chip's Law, and 1, Bradford's Law. Prevention of cholera in India generates following index terms according to modified chain indexing. Arrange them in correct order. India, cholera, disease, treatment, and medicine. And correct sequence is C. First, treatment, then disease, then cholera, then medicine, and last, India. Arrange the following according to their year of first publication. Encyclopedia Britannica, Encyclopedia Americana, Encyclopedia of Library and Information Science, McGraw-Hill Encyclopedia of Science and Technology. And correct sequence is B. First, Encyclopedia Britannica, then Encyclopedia Americana, then McGraw-Hill Encyclopedia of Science and Technology, and the last, Encyclopedia of Library and Information Science. Number 19. Arrange the following according to their year of establishment. First, NIC-NIC, then DECIDOC, then NISCARE, and 4, NASDOC. And the correct answer is D. First, DECIDOC, then NASDOC, then NIC-NIC, and the last, NISCARE. Arrange the following Public Library Act according to their year of enactment. First, Uttar Pradesh Public Library Act, then Arunachal Public Library Act, Odisha Public Library Act, and Gujarat Public Library Act. And correct arrangement is A. First, Gujarat Public Library Act, then Odisha Public Library Act, then Uttar Pradesh Public Library Act, and the last Arunachal Public Library Act. Last, then number 21. An indispensable functions of thesaurs is to knowledge classification, grouping the words to word together according to similarity of meaning, representation of relationships between concepts, knowledge engineering. Codes A and 2 are correct, B 2 and 3 are correct, C 3 and 4 are correct, and D 1 and 4 are correct, and the correct answer is B 2, grouping the words together according to similarity of meaning and representation of relationships between concepts. These two options are correct. Of relationships between concepts. These two options are correct. Which of the following are basic components of expert system? User interface, knowledge base, inference mechanism, and schema. Which of the following are the types factors studied under ANOVA? Fixed, frequency, calculated, and random. And the correct answer is B, means frequency and calculated. These two options, fixed and for random. These two options are correct. Number 24. Which of the following are the models of communication? Economic theory model, stock adjustment model, Shannon-Weaver model, and Scrum model. And the codes are 3 and 4. A, options A 3 and 4 are correct, B 2 and 3 are correct, C 1 and 2 are correct, and D 2 and 4 are correct. And the correct answer is A, Shannon-Weaver model, and 4 Scrum model are correct options. Which of the following countries do not have a code of ethics for library profession? America, Sri Lanka, India, and China. And the correct answer is D, means India and China are two options are correct. Which of the following are the components of search engine? Spider, TCP/IP, search mechanism, and for index. And the correct options is C, means spider, search mechanism, and index. These three options are correct. Which when the permission of copyright owner is not needed? Criticism or review, translation, research purpose, and photocopy for sale. And the correct answer is A. Correct answer is A, means criticism or review and research purpose. These two options are correct. Which of the following are library networks? Internet, Indonet, InflipNet, and OCLC. And the correct answer is C, InflipNet and OCLC. These two options are correct. Matching. Douglas MacGregor, first list 1 Douglas MacGregor, and list 2 scientific management schools. B, Abraham Maslow, and 2 theory of authority structure. C, F.W. Taylor, and 3 self-actualization needs, and D, Max Weber, and theory X and theory Y. And the correct matching and answer is A, means A, Douglas MacGregor goes on option 4 theory X and theory Y. So the options first are correct answer is A, means Douglas MacGregor goes on theory X and theory Y. Abraham Maslow goes on B3 self-actualization needs F.W. Taylor goes on scientific management schools, and Max Weber D goes on to theory of authority structure. Next matching: education 770, medicine 370, photography 610, and astronomy 520. And the correct matching answer is B, means A, education goes on 370, B, medicine goes on 610, C, photography goes on 770, and D, astronomy goes on 370. Then matching: key to given collection, list 2 abstract, list 1 key to literary sources on a subject, list 2 index, list 1 representation of subject concept, 3 catalog, and D condensation of a document, list 2 bibliography. Correct answer is A, means A, key to given collection goes on catalog, B, key to literary sources on a subject goes on bibliography, C, representation of subject concept, C, goes on index, and D, condensation of a document, D, goes on abstract. Next matching: list 1 unity of command, list 2 specialization, list 1 unity of direction, list 2 strength of unity, list 1 spirit the crops, list 2 orders from only one person, list 1 division of a work, list 2 one boss one plan. And the correct answer is C, means A, unity of command goes on, C, orders from only one person, unity of direction goes on, one boss one plan, C, spirit the crops goes on strength it unity, and D, division of a work goes on specialization. Next, arrange the following according to year of publication: colon classification, prolegomena to classification, 5 laws of library science, classified catalog code. And the correct answer is C, means 5 laws of library science, colon classification, classified catalog code, and prolegomena to classification. People's Index to Periodical Literature was brought out by William Frederick, B. F.W. Lancaster, C. Van Rysbergen, and D. H.P. Lan. And the correct answer is A, William Frederick. Walford's Guide to Reference Material is published by A. American Library Association, Chicago, R.R. Broker, London, Library Association Publishing, London, Learned Information Limited, New Jersey. And the correct answer is C, Library Association Publishing, London. Number 36. Starting, chaining, browsing, differentiating, monitoring, extracting, verification, and ending are important stages of which information seeking behavior model? Options: A, Darwin's model, B, Ellis model, C, Marconi model, and D, Carlton model. And the correct answer is B, Ellis model. Number 37. What kind of arrangement is following in LISA? A, alphabetical, B, chronological, C, classified, and D, geographical. And the correct answer is C, classified. Waveform is used in A, synchronous virtual reference service, B, asynchronous virtual reference service, C, both A and B, and D, none of the above. And the correct answer is B, asynchronous virtual reference service. Number 39. An online search in which all aspects of the records in natural language may be used as short term is alphabetical, cultural search, multi-aspect search, free text searching, and streaming search, and the correct answer is free text searching. Number 40. Science abstracts published by INSPEC, Institute of Electrical Engineering, Institute of Physics, London, American Institute of Physics, and PSOJ, Physical Society of Japan. And the correct answer is A, INSPEC, Institute of Electrical Engineering. Number 41. Assertion. Technical writing standards, style manuals, and citation standards are very essential in structuring the research report, and the reason value will get enhanced by standardizing the structure of a research report. And the codes are A is true and R is partially true. Both A and R are true. Both A and R are false. A is true and R is false, and the correct answer is A. A is true and R is partially true. Number 42. Assertion. The encouraging environment of all time full reading halls with the students in the libraries is diminishing day by day, and reason all the reading material is easily available and accessible on internet to all the students. Both A and R are true. Both A and R are false. A is true but R is false, and A is false but R is true, and correct answer is C. A is true but R is false. Assertion. The information seeking behavior research at the current times is on the social and cultural context of a human interaction with information. Reason. Attempt is being made to interpret social and cultural experiences of individuals with respect to their information seeking and searching experiences. A is true but R is false. Both A and R are false. A is false but R is true, and both A and R are true. And the correct answer is D. Both A and R are true. Number 45. Assertion. With emergence of internet, there is no need for reference service in this technology-based era, and the reason internet has allowed access to everyone to seek his or her information from everywhere anytime. And the codes both A and R are true, both A and R are false. A is false but R is partially true, and A is true but R is false. And the correct answer is C. A is false but R is partially true. Next, number 45. Assertion. Maximizing the access to information in higher education is the motto of UGC Infonet projects, and the reason the financial grants of UGC Infonet are not being fully utilized by all university libraries for the assigned purpose. Both A and R false. A is true and R is partially true. A is true and R is false. A is false and R is true, and the correct answer is B. A is true and R is partially true. Matching. List 1. Classical models. List 2. Roos and Bateson's functional model. Linear model. Aristotle. Non-linear model. Laswell. Multidimensional. Wesley and Macon's conceptual model. And the correct answer is A, means A, classical models goes Aristotle, B, linear model goes Laswell, C, non-linear model goes Wesley and Macon's conceptual, and D, multidimensional goes Roos and Bateson's functional model. Next, matching. List 1 PDFA, list 2 high color depth images, B, HTML, list 2 rules for encoding documents electronically, C, TIFF, file format for long-term archiving, and D, XML, language for web pages. And the codes, correct answer is B, means PDFA goes on 3. File format for long-term archiving. B. HTML language for web pages. TIFF rules for encoding documents electronically, and XML. B goes on rules for encoding documents electronically. Next, list 1 icon and list 2 character strings. B menus and select objects on the screen. C dialog bow and bit mapped region and pointing device obtain information from the end users. Correct is D, means A icon goes bitmap region, B menus goes character strings, C dialog bow goes obtain information from the end users, and pointing device D goes on select objects on screen. Next, number 49. Resource description. List 1, list 2 mark. List 1 resource discovery. List 2 ISO 10160 by 10161. C resource exchange and 3 Dublin core. And list 1 interlibrary loan. List 2 J3950. Correct answer is D, means resource description goes on Dublin core. B resource discovery goes on Z39.50. C resource exchange goes on mark, and D interlibrary loan D goes on to ISO 10160 by 10161. List 1 Carol Kalthu and list 2 8 stages. B David Ellis ISB is a 6-stage process. MJ Belkin and list 2 ISB is of 8 key activities, and D Marchioni ISB is 4 dimensions, and the correct answer is A, means option A Carol Kalthu goes on ISB is a 6-stage process. B David Ellis goes on 3 ISB is of 8 key activities. C MJ Belkin goes on 4 ISB is 4 dimension, and Marchioni D goes on 8 stages. Is that which of the following can be identified with the Ranganathan's 5th law of library science? Answer is opening branch libraries. The term canon was introduced by W.C.B. Sayers. Number 3, according to CCC, which one of the following entry does not give class number? Answer is CRIE. 4, the term exponential growth is referred to. Answer arithmetically progression. Number 5, data mining is a technique for searching large-scale database. Number 6, matching. List 1 is spirit the crops. List 2 has bugs. List 1 theory X and theory Y. Answer list 2 Maslow. List 3 hierarchy of human needs. List 2 Douglas MacGregor. And list 4 hygiene motivation theory, and list 2 Henry Fayol. And the correct answer 1 spirit the crops goes on Henry Fayol. Theory X and theory Y goes on Douglas MacGregor. Hierarchy of human needs goes on Maslow, and hygiene motivation theory goes on Hasbuck's. Identify the statement that is not true about ISDN. Answer is ISDN is simply a point-to-point solution like a list line. Number 8, half-life relates to rate of obsolescence. Number 9, in experimental research method, treatment is administered to members of the answer's experimental group. which is not applicable to the digital library. Digital library is an organization that does not require the specialized staff. When the value of a correlation coefficient R is near -1, that is minus or -1, it indicates a strong inverse relationship. Number 12, Statement 1. RRLF, which is an agency that supports public library services and systems, is not an autonomous organization. And the Statement 2, RRLF is fully financed by Ministry of Culture, Government of India. And the correct answer 1, Statement 1 is false, but 2, Statement 2 is true. Statement 1. The British Library is very young as it was set up under the British Library Act that was passed in 1972. Statement 2. The Library of British Museum, which was set up in 1753, is part of the British Library today. Answer: both statement A and 2 are true. The concept of bibliographic coupling was given by M. Kessler. Next matching. List 1, John McFarlane. List 2, Library of Congress. List 1, B.S. Kesavan. List 2, British Museum Library. List 3, John J. Buckley. And List 2, Imperial Library. List 4, Anthony Paniji. List 2, National Library of India. And correct matching. List 1, John McFarlane goes on Imperial Library. List 2, number 2, B.S. Kesavan goes on National Library of India. John J. Beckley goes on Library of Congress. And Anthony Paniji goes on British Museum Library. The new name of Standing Conference of National and University Libraries (CONAL) is Standing Council on National and University Libraries. In the hypothesis, self-height is a major determining factor of book use. Self-height is independent variable. List matching. List 1, American Library Association. List 2, 1946. List 1, Canadian Library Associations. List 2, 1932. List 3, Special Library Association, 1909. List 1, the Association of Research Libraries. List 2, 1876. Correct arrangement. List 1, from list 1, American Library Association goes on 1876. Canadian Library Association goes on 1946. Special Library Association goes on 1909. And the Association of a Research Library goes on 1932. Canon of short headings takes care of approaches of users. Canon of propotence decides the position of an entry among the various entries in a catalog. World of Learning is published from London. Double colon are used in universal decimal classification. Matching. List 1, National Medical Library, Mumbai. List 2. List 1, Saraswati Mahal Library. List 2, Tanjore. List 1, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institutes Library. List 2, Delhi. List 1, Asiatic Societies Library. List 2, Pune. Correct matching. List 1, from list 1, National Medical Library goes on Delhi. Saraswati Mahal Library goes on Tanjore. Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institutes Library goes on Pune. Asiatic Societies Library goes on Mumbai. Statement 1. The copyright laws prevent unauthorized production of any literary and artistic work. Statement 2. The copyright is infringed even if the copy is made or supplied by or on behalf of a librarian. Correct answer. The statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. General Information Program was launched by UNESCO. Which of the following canons of cataloging prescribes that the information found on title and its overflow pages should be used for preparing main entry? Correct answer is canon of assemblability. Next matching, list 1 NISCARE, list 2 Union Catalogue of Social Science Periodicals and Serials in India, list 1 in FlipNet, list 2 Technology Focus, list 1 NASDOC and list 2 TechDL, list 1 DesiDoc and list 2 Caliber. And the correct matching from list 1, number 1 NISCARE goes on TKDL, 2 in FlipNet goes on Caliber, 3 NASDOC goes on Union Catalogue of Social Science Periodicals and Serials in India, and the 4 DesiDoc Technology Focus. Which of the following is a strategy of knowledge management? Answer is indexing. Which of the following is an example of associative relationships? Answer polling public opinion. In an empirical study on impact of internet on reading would be the dependent variable. List matching, list 1 fusion and list 2 metaphysics, list 1 fission, list 2 humanities, list 1 culture, list 2 Indology, list 1 agglomeration, list 2 astrophysics, and the correct answer from list 1, number 1 fusion goes on astrophysics, fission goes on metaphysics, cluster goes on Indology, and agglomeration goes on humanities. Number 32. Invisible colleges are network of individuals interested in a subject field, group of scientific meetings. Next matching, list 1 SERA, list 2 education, list 2 FORSA, list 1 FORSA, list 2 agriculture, list 1 indexed, list 2 astrophysics, list 1 EDIC, list 2 engineering, and correct answer is from list 1 SERA goes on agriculture, FORSA goes on astrophysics, INDEST goes on engineering, and EDIC goes on education. Number 34. In building block search strategy, adding an extra facet would result in higher precision. Number 35. Which is not applicable to extensible markup language? Answer, it has to do with the semantics to data. Statement 1. Cross-reference entry of the classification catalog code is a number entry. And statement 2. It is entered under the dominant class of the document. And the statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Number 37. Arrange the following Public Libraries Act according to their year of enactment. Mizoram Public Library Act, Tamil Nadu Public Libraries Act, Haryana Public Libraries Act, and Odisha Public Libraries Act. And the correct sequence: first Tamil Nadu Public Libraries Act, then Haryana Public Libraries Act, then Mizoram Public Libraries Act, and the last Odisha Public Libraries Act. Dash search gives more information output. Answer is Boolean OR. Number 39. Assertion. Loose assemblies is the process of linking together different classes, and the reason the number of subjects are restricted. And the A is true, but R is false. Number 40. Identify the mark tag that is used for variable fields containing data related to subject access to the document. Answer, 6XX. Number 41. Which of the following is not characteristics of the information society? Answer, dependence on traditional knowledge. How to write the size of book having height 21.5 cm and width 30 cm in a catalog entry according to ACR 2? Answer, 22 into 30 cm. According to ISBT format, the GMT is recorded after the title proper. Again matching, list 1 Maslow, list 2 hygienic factor, list 1 McGregor, list 2 immaturity and maturity, list 1 Argris and list 2 theory Y, list 1 Hedgebugs and list 2 hierarchy of needs. And correct answer, Maslow goes on hierarchy of needs, McGregor goes for theory Y, Agris goes on maturity and immaturity and maturity, and Hedgebugs hygienic factor. Which of the following is the function of a library committee? Answer, to lay down general library policy. List 1 primary document, list 2 LISA, list 1 geographical source, list 2 library herald, list 1 abstracting service, list 2 bibliography of bibliographies, list 1 tertiary document, list 2 Foodo's India. Correct answer is number 1, primary document goes on library herald, geographical source goes on Foodo's India, abstracting service goes on LISA, and tertiary documents goes on bibliography of bibliographies. Arrange the following classification schemes in their chronological order of origin: bibliographic classification, colon classification, universal decimal classification, Dewey decimal classification. And correct arrangements: first of all, Dewey decimal classification, then universal decimal classification, then colon classification, and then bibliographic classification. Statement 1. Unity of direction implies one manager and one plan for all the operations which have the same objective in view. And statement 2. The principle is useful for creating departments and sub-departments for designing and functioning of the organization structure. Both statement A and 2 are true. Which of the following is an indicator of dispersion for a set of observations? And the correct answer is standard deviation. Which of the following sequence is correct about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Answers: physiological, security, social, esteem, and self-actualization. Next matching: list 1 Hawthorne studies, list 2 Maslow, list 1 theory X and theory Y, list 2 George Elton Mayo, list 1 hierarchy of needs, list 2 R. Likert, list 1 leadership style, list 2 Douglas McGregor. And the correct answer is Hawthorne studies. Hawthorne studies is goes on R. Likert, theory X and theory Y goes on Douglas McGregor, hierarchy of needs goes on Maslow, and leadership style goes on George Elton Mayo. Next, arrange the following in chronological sequence of their year of establishment: AimLIS, AimLIS, SIS, and ILA. And the correct sequence: first ILA, then AimLIS, then AimLIS, and then SIS. The intellectual property that does not come under copyright is industrial design. Methods of experimental inquiry were advocated by J.S. Mill. What is not true about the spamming? Spamming is expensive to advertisers.